Brown 45. Brown 45. Hot, 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 hot.
7 hours of commercial-free football start now.
Back. Another week. Week 9 is in the books. Week 10 is in the future. And I know nothing else is going on tonight, so no one cares. But we're here to talk foosball. Have emotions from all over this thing. Mark, I think you're free to watch your college football team again. Arizona Cardinal has a really good defense apparently, and Saquon can hurdle backwards. So, and they still almost blew the game. So it's a bunch of fun times. Here we go. Mark, how are you?
I mean, you kind of open it up, I was debating last week to go watch a movie during the TU A&M game on Thanksgiving. I don't need to do that anymore. South Carolina, buried that. We were 9-1 against them since we joined the SEC. The fuck?
Yeah, it turns out you had 2 quarterbacks. Turns out you had no quarterbacks. How that turned out. No game is ever safe with the Philadelphia Eagles on the other side of the ball. But overall, he can't smoke weed in his state anymore. Like, he can't because they didn't pass that. But overall, how are you?
Fucking Florida. I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah, it was close, and yeah, that does make me nervous. But at least we're not the Dallas Cowboys, so I'll take that.
That is true. At least you're not the Chicago Bears. How you doing, buddy?
It feels disingenuous to run a show like this on a night like this because tonight.
Well, yeah, I had a call.
Tonight is the first night of Mid-American Conference football back on Tuesday nights.
That's true, Maction, baby.
And it just feels wrong to be on a show. Read my name. I'm a factory of sadness right now.
That's my favorite meme ever.
Turns out a new haircut doesn't really fix all your coaching problems. Turns out that Shane Waldron does not know how to draw anything other than a straight line when it comes to routes. And it turns out having your three best O-linemen hurt will probably cause the O-line to suffer a little. But hey, at least we got a 7th round pick today.
That's true.
That probably contributes to the offense.
Trade deadline did happen.
It's a boring trade deadline.
I don't think anything really exciting. I think Lions got a pass rusher, which we all knew was going to happen.
It's third time in the NFC North.
Steelers waited to the bargain bin, $5 bin, to grab a receiver finally. Mike Williams, he won't be active very long. Other than that, not a really exciting trade deadline. So we'll move on to there.
I think there was 2 things that were interesting.
Oh, here we go. What do you got?
I think Marshawn Lattimore going to the Commanders that's a kind of interesting move. Definitely weird move, but it definitely bumps up the Commanders' defense, which we've talked about being a little flimsy these last couple weeks.
It definitely makes up for the mistake of drafting Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah. And I'm still not convinced that Jerry Jones mistook Jonathan Mingo for Jonathan Brooks. I'm not sure that he didn't do that.
Yeah. Lattimore's a little weird because Lattimore has been with the Saints for a really long time at this point, I think. So that's a little surprising, but a good thing to him. He gets to play in the playoffs.
They need to get rid of money.
Oh, yeah. They've been needing to get money for a while. Dennis Allen finally got fired this week. I called that from me, and I think me and Barr both said he was going to be the first fired. Robert Saleh didn't have two 40-point games first, so that didn't save him. Then we had Michael Thomas going around fans and asking about Derek Carr. Bro, what? Another player on the Saints. The Saints could have a lot of things. Saints also dealing with Olave's got as much head concussions now at this point as Tua. Poor guy. They said it was Carr's fault. He did go across the middle, but the man's been just thumped so many times. It's kind of crazy. Great career. I don't know how long he's gonna be until his brain just becomes mush. It kind of already is. But we changed the segment last week to start this segment. We no longer do winners and losers. We just kind of recap the week and talk about everybody's pain and misery together and just go through and see if we have anything. I think the Broncos will start there. Finally got their dose of reality that they'll beat up on bad teams, but when good teams show up, any way and every way can be scored upon. My question is, when games like this, when you have a really good defense, do they know any of the players on the opposite teams, and did they watch any of the previous games? Because Zay Flowers looks like he was just ready to steal from them. They didn't know he was on the field at times, I don't think, because he was wide open. Mark Andrews came back to reality. 41-10 for the Broncos. So the Broncos are going to be that middle of the road team that I think are going to probably maybe sneak into the playoffs, which is stupid because they play bad teams. But overall, those division games are going to be pretty bad for them. Anything on... And this is weird because this should have been a game the Ravens could have dropped because how they've dropped games before. So, I don't know. I'm still not confident on the Ravens, but it's guaranteed after a loss. Bet on the Ravens to win the next one because they're headhunting. Any takeaways from both of those teams, gentlemen?
I mean, those are well. I wouldn't say who we thought they were. They're still much better than I think anybody on this panel thought they would be. Should be. I mean, relatively young roster, rookie quarterback that hasn't shown a ton, but they look competent on offense. Only utilizing Cortland Sutton, which is a big improvement on the first 7-8 weeks of the season. They still don't really have a running game, which is so they're going to turn to Audric Estime, who is their big name rookie that they drafted last year to kind of be the bell cow, I guess, for the rest of the season. So that's really never a good sign if a team is turning into its rookie running back who was fourth on the depth chart in preseason. Hey, you're the guy now because the other stunk it up. And the Ravens continue just beating up on teams not in the month of January. So what else?
Great talk.
I mean, yeah, Ravens are good. There you go. Analysis.
Ravens are good. Lost a sports bet this week on a game that I thought was going to be a lot more lopsided than it was. 27-30, Buffalo hangs on and beats Miami with a 61-yard field goal or something to end the game.
61, yeah.
Just, man, nothing can go right for Miami, at all. That was your shot to beat them. Couldn't do it. Josh played pretty well. I think it's a little play with their food. Kind of knew each other a little too well. Was able to exploit them. Yeah, I think Buffalo's really good, but I think Buffalo has a lot of They're a questionable 7-2. Like they're 7-2 versus like real teams yet. Like I don't like again. They're beating who they can beat, but when they came up against the Ravens, they got punched in the mouth pretty hard. Who was their second loss to? Oh, the Ravens and who?
Oh God, what was it? I'm gonna look this up right now.
I'm gonna find it before you. I promise.
You probably will because
Texans. So they oh, that was that stupid game that they just they threw 3 times and then punted and gave them a field goal to win it.
Oh, but Jim Green said that was the correct move.
No, Jim Green's also a moron.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah, that's what they should. Yeah, good call. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Dolphins now twice. They beat the Jets. They beat the Titans, and they beat the Seattle Seahawks. So overall, not great teams over there. We'll see coming up. We'll see coming up because they finished the schedule with a few questionable games: Detroit, San Francisco, Kansas City. So we'll see how they go. Kansas City will tell us a lot. How that is not a primetime game, those idiots. But whatever.
Never is for some reason.
But overall, in that game,
they want Nance and Romo to call the game. That's why.
Can Miami sneak into the playoffs? Can they run the table?
Are you talking about Miami or the University of Miami? Because
Miami.
the answer is the same.
Yes, then.
Let's see. They got the Rams, the Raiders, the Patriots, then the Packers, then the Jets. No, I don't think this is happening.
Okay, you said Jets, but you didn't say any. Besides Packers, you said no. 10-7 can get you to the playoffs.
Texans, 49ers.
Okay.
I think it's irrelevant because I think teams have figured out how, like, even with Tua and with the roster healthy.
Rush 6 and watch him fumble.
Well, right. But also at the same time, in a Mike McDaniel offense, you need all the different pieces at the same time. You need everyone to eat. Right now, it's just Devon Achane eating. Devon Achane's running all over the field, doing whatever the hell he wants, catching ball, running through D-lines, making the second level, going on 30, 40-yard runs. He's doing all that. Meanwhile, Jalen Waddle is out there looking like he's the one with CTE. Can't stay healthy for more than a single series. You let Tyreek have a couple big catches and then double cover him the entire rest of the game. Buffalo did a tremendous job of limiting their effectiveness and ensuring that the only guy who was able to run riot was Devon Achane. Let your linebackers and safeties chase them all over the field. All your corners, you pin them on Waddle, you pin them on Tyreek, and the Dolphins have a limited offense.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where the Bills go from here because Amari Cooper's got a hand injury. Keon Coleman's got a hand injury now. And as you said, there are some good teams coming down the line, but
guys need wives.
What's that?
I said if they're injuring their hand, then they need wives.
Or Josh Allen.
That's right.
Such a freaky white guy that he can throw the ball way too hard.
Pervert.
But yeah, as you said, that for some reason the Bills just kind of own the Dolphins recently, and this game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it would be like a blowout, but the fact that Tyler Bass hit a 61-yarder, that man doesn't hit that often. So that was just like just stomping on the Dolphins when they were down almost.
Okay. Bengals take care of business against the Raiders. That's not a big deal. Defense is still letting up 24 points to there, so that's going to be – if they're going to make it, it's going to be a miracle. Bryce Young got to go in victory formation for the first time when they defeat the Saints. You want to guarantee to get Dennis Allen fired? Let Bryce Young kneel the ball in the middle of the field. You won't make it back on the plane.
I'm so happy for Chuba Hubbard for finally getting the the playing time that he's been deserving of these last few years.
What?
That man's been third string for the Panthers for years, and I've always looked at him and went, "Why aren't you playing him?"
What? Chuba
He met
Hubbard.
his mom
Chuba Hubbard
at Trader Joe's.
But the thing is, if Chuba Hubbard was on a different team, I'm telling you right now, he ain't playing.
And I think that's the problem. I think that he should be. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's good behind a terrible O-line.
Didn't he get the job when McCaffrey was hurt all year one time and was
They kind of split between him and Donta Foreman.
Yeah.
And then they decided to go with Donta Foreman.
He's the when they ran the D'Angelo Williams Jonathan Stewart in Carolina he's the Jonathan Stewart. He's fine.
Jonathan Stewart was much more than fine in his heyday. Let's show some respect.
Shut up. No.
Isn't Hubbard in the top 5 for rushing yards?
He's doing a hell of a job for my
because he has to. There's some quarterbacks to throw. You'd be in the top.
I don't think any team is really scared if Carolina runs the ball on them. I think that's
whatever. I'm just saying I'm happy.
They run the ball because Bryce Young.
We all play roles on the show. You're the running back guy. You're the running back defender. I like it. You see the talent that the rest of us don't. Keep that energy. So I gotta talk about this one because this one boggled my mind the entire time leading up to the game. Jets beat the Texans. It was the line opened at -1.5 for the Jets, and then it moved all the way to 3.5. It went all the way to 2.5, and plus on the money line. I never understood it. It made no sense to me in logical minds. Why is this the case? Turns out Vegas knows more than the rest of us because Jets won, and didn't look great, but didn't look bad against that defense. They carved them up enough. They NFL made sure sometimes passes, sometimes catches are catches, and sometimes catches aren't catches.
It was too cool though.
He did the Jordan basically and just went in, and they're like, well, how can we not reward this guy? But I still don't understand the rule. I understand the rule, but Pickens throws his foot down twice in the end zone. Not a touchdown because it was only the 1 foot, but he throws his foot and his shin down. Touchdown. Fine.
Body part, technically.
But your rules are stupid, and I don't like it. So, if it's attached to the same leg, it shouldn't count. I'm sorry. If your rule wants to stand by, it shouldn't count. But the Jets won. So, Jets have to win out, basically, or they can lose one more game to make it mathematically just possible. Who knows? I don't doubt. Me and Mark said it in our chat, but I agree with Mark. Me and him have both been on or off. We have never gotten a Jets game. We've been on the wrong side of every Jets game this entire season. If they're going to win, we're going to win. Loss. Everybody else is Cody, they're idiots. They're going to win. Me and Mark, I'm going to ride these guys one more week. They can't lose every game, right? It's just.
I think when I look back, the last time I was right was week 3.
Yeah.
After the last 6 blackjack, it's after the last 6 blackjack hands have all come up 20. It's time to leave the table, man. It's time to leave the table.
You're not wrong.
The funny thing is, there's so many 2-7 teams in the AFC right now that they could feasibly make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's enough 7. If they lose a couple of those games, they get a top 5 pick.
True. Cowboys suck. Dak said it himself. Who believes that Dak hamstring is real? I don't.
I mean, he's got his money, So
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I ain't going back out there for this team. What are we talking about? They're so bad. They're so bad. And the fact is, they could get like Travis Hunter or somebody with like some interesting because the draft capital. It's going to be miserable for everybody. But it's literally I shared it in our fantasy football chat. It's literally "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" meme is when he hands him the bottle and it's like Jerry Jones hands him the bottle and gives him a drink of water and he's like, "Oh, it's piss. Oh, there's not supposed to be piss in that one." Hands him another one and drinks it. There's piss in that one. What? Oh, I didn't mean to. They're both piss. I didn't mean to piss in both of them. It's literally Jerry Jones with Cowboy fans. It's going to be our year. No, but just piss. Just piss in your mouth. Like, I'm going to tell you. It's miserable. They lost 27-21, so they kind of made it a game, but overall, like, the Falcons, good luck. That division is just theirs. Like,
Yeah. Now that Evans and Godwin are not playing.
yeah, we'll touch on that game in a second. Winston Magic lasted a week. 1 week.
Last time I picked the Browns, I swear to God.
Chargers looking good. Like, it's crazy when they have a competent, like, a coach. Like, remember when who's that receiver? Quentin Johnson?
Quentin Johnson.
That couldn't have hands, couldn't catch a thing, and now catches everything. Can catch things now.
Was wearing like oven mitts for gloves.
That's pretty interesting. I think the Chargers can make games against the Chiefs kind of interesting. I'm not saying they'll win it, but I'm thinking it's not going to be a pushover game like they had.
I mean, they've done that traditionally, so
yeah, matters who the refs favor most in those games. But
well, we already know.
Commanders, 27, Giants 22. Daniel Jones, belief back in GM earning some money, keeping Daniel Jones, paying the money. He ran one, he threw one in. They didn't sack the quarterback. Like, this team, it's going to be the problem with the Commanders. Maybe Lattimore changes a little bit, but it's going to be the problem with the Commanders because, like, how many can they do? Like, their defense is questionable at times. Their defense is good at times. Their defense is questionable at times. Now, this is a team you played before, so maybe they know a little bit more of your secrets. I bet on a kicker in this game, Scully, and a hit. So
Siebert,
yeah, over 1.5, and Washington team total over 18.5. Hit both. It came close, but it hit both. It was money. Does Commanders give you the vibe of that first round, like high round but bounce in playoff first round?
You mean like the Vikings a few years ago?
He's not here to defend himself.
So
no, but honestly, it feels a little bit like
He would not do that to the Eagles. He would not.
Bullshit.
It honestly feels a little bit like the 2012 Redskins team that had RG3 as a rookie. Strong offense, not a great defense, but they have enough pieces to where they can make consistent stops. And they just traded for Marshawn Lattimore, which will be a huge help. They remind me of that Washington team in 2012 when they had all the head coach, offensive staff, and RG3 won Rookie of the Year. So it feels a little bit like that. But again, if they play a Minnesota or a Green Bay, a team with a strong defense in the first round, who knows how to contain a mobile quarterback, who can kind of cut the field in half and force Jane Daniels to throw the side or the other, it could get spooky for them. So
I think we might see that this week.
That's the kind of vibe I'm feeling.
I said I think we might see that this week because they play the Steelers.
Right. And I think that'll be a really strong test to see where this Commanders team. But also the Steelers are like 4 games above 500, so they're due to lose a few games.
That's true.
Robert's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, don't do that. He would not do that to you.
Yeah, he would not do that to you.
yeah, he would say it himself.
Yeah. We're playing with house money. Tune into the Pittsburgh Show coming Tuesday.
Where high-end talent pays the bills.
Will we trade Paul Skeens? We probably will. Because we can't pay anybody. Cash out while we still can.
We'll trade him for a pound of French fries.
Yes. You guys won't care about this, but Patriots Titans. So, Scully calls me a degenerate all the time.
Haven't been wrong yet.
Over. What'd you say?
Haven't been wrong yet.
You have been wrong. I'm not degenerate. I'm very logical. Titans over 13.5 team total. Patriots over 16.5 team total. He throws that miracle touchdown. Cha-ching, cha-ching, gotcha bump. Let's go! I was screaming in my house very loudly. Not degenerate. Very thoughtful. Very mindful.
Very demure.
I don't understand. You're fired. Like, off the show.
It's a lose your own show.
We can't do that. We can't do that on this show. You can be in the bottom.
Okay.
Listen.
Cody.
Why do teams, when they suck so bad, just not let the other bad team win?
I don't know.
The world may never know.
I mean, they want to win, you know? Like, come on. It's a game.
Why?
Like, I
Why?
don't know. Ask Lovie Smith that, several years ago.
And it worked out pretty well for them.
Although Lovie Smith meant to fuck that team, and, he ended up doing them a giant favor. Which
Yeah, they need to build a
Ain't
statue
that
of Lovie Smith there.
Ain't that the truth?
Everyone except for Carolina. Hoist the statue for Lovie Smith.
Razor glasses.
Carolina's going to send out fucking hitmen to kill him.
Yeah, but the Titans, like, ugh, brother, like, that team is just awful to watch, and so is the thing. I'm not one of the games I will not be watching this week at all. Will not be waking up early. I will not see an ounce of this game. I promise everybody, unless I come downstairs, turn on right before I start my Sunday thing. But yeah, not a chance. All right, let's peel the Band-Aid. Scully. Listen, degenerate or not, I had them over 38.5. To finish at 38 is just disrespectful as all get out, all right? That was that happened twice this week. Chiefs game, I had it plus minus 6.5. Won at 6. This, what are we doing? Your team sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you're going to follow the same tradition you followed before. You're going to draft a guy. You're going to draft Mitch Trubisky. You're going to have him with the coach, and you're going to fire him within 2 years. Give him another head coach, another thing. Then Justin Fields. Fire the coach. Fire the offensive coordinator. Bring in a new one. He's going to have 2 in 2 years. Caleb Williams, Eberflus, and the guy fired. Move on to another one. You guys are literally the definition of insanity. Just let's do the same shit over. Why is Eberflus your coach? Why was he your coach? What did he show you in those first couple of years that you're like, dude, we got to hold on to this one?
The only reason he was retained is because he got the defense into a position to where it could call itself minimum top 10, maybe even a top 5 unit when you count in scoring and turnovers per game. Now you have defensive players quitting on the play. You have Arizona's third string running back running for 55 fucking yards at the end of the half, which is inexcusable from even the worst defenses in the NFL. That's completely out the window. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This cycle, for as much as I would like to see it end, it will not end until there's a change in ownership. And the same can be said for 15 other franchises in the National Football League. because I'm not gonna speak vile of the elderly right now, but
He wants the old bitch to die.
until
He wants the old bitch to die.
Until Virginia McCaskey either agrees to sell the team or until she passes away and her sons can have finally permission to sell the team, nothing's going to change. This is a family that doesn't know football. They think they inherit this big, giant golden coin from one of the fathers of the game, named George McCaskey, and they think that selling it would be sacrilege to the holy on top or whatever. And because of that, you continue to have decision makers in that organization who are okay with living like this. Now, I love Ryan Poles. I have sung his praises for what he's done in revamping this roster. And I understand that right now his hands might be tied and he might want to fire Eberflus. He might want to overhaul the coaching staff. And he probably can't because we've never, ever amidst the history of the franchise. But he had it out in January last year to get rid and bring in Jim Harbaugh, Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, any one of these guys out there on the market currently who are better leaders, better coaches, and better program builders than Matt Eberflus, a first-time head. So, and not to mention the fact, you hire a defensive head coach and pair him with a rookie quarterback, that development piece is missing. Yes, he might be able to read defenses really well, but he's not going to be able to go through consistent offensive progressions with the coaching staff like that. So it's not going to get better until there's a change in ownership, and I just have to accept that.
Did anyone else see DJ Moore just kind of walk off the field mid-play?
I did, and to be honest, he has no. I mean, I love DJ, I love him, but he needs to understand that.
Did you hear the radio interview where they ask him, has Eberflus lost the team? And the first words out of his mouth are, I want to say no.
Maybe the worst answer he could have given.
What's that?
Maybe the worst answer he could have
given. The worst possible response he could have given.
You mean other than yes?
Yes is more straightforward.
So much respect.
Well, he came out of the locker room and they're like, "How are you going to overcome this or whatever?" It's like, "As a team together, we're united." Fuck you! Like, no.
I was driving while he was giving that interview, and I really wanted to crash the car. We were literally in the middle of the fucking. Where were we? We were like in between Kentucky and Tennessee, driving through the damn Appalachians. I wanted to drive off a mountain.
It's like when my favorite baseball team of all time says we're going to go full throttle in the off season, and then said, "Well, full throttle means a lot of things." Like,
you might actually get a joy out of this, but that hurts both of us.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, just think about it. If we just didn't commit the most errors in the league, we would have won 10 more games and won the division. That's their belief. That's fun. Okay. Let's go. Eagles play with their food. Almost lose. Your guys have to be the most fraudulent 6-2 team on the planet right now.
I lost 6 pounds in sweat in those last couple minutes.
That sounds a little ridiculous. Even if you lost your 6-3, you still have a shot.
You see, and we can't even say anything funny about that. So fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Look, I respect that Sirianni wants to play punch you in the mouth football and like play really aggressive, but bro, take the points.
He plays punch you in the mouth football. When
he wants to play punch you in the mouth football, but he can't.
Yeah.
Coho's going to be like, oh, Jake Elliott's not that good of a kicker. You would have lost points anyway. Motherfucker, his leg was probably ice cold by that point when he did miss that field goal because Sirianni wanted to go for 2
he
fucking
ain't
points.
coming. He's not coming, man. Just let it go.
I'm going to say this nicely because I'll get canceled if I say it. But watching the Eagles play is literally like listening to Patches O'Houlihan describe the dodgeball team in the movie Dodgeball. I won't say any of the things because I'll get canceled, but that is literally the Philadelphia Eagles on a nutshell.
I think
as
that
useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. Like you guys are like hump a doorknob. Like you guys are everything that movie entails is the Eagles. I sit there and watch them like they're up 22-0, and I'm like, it's the same feeling I had when that coin toss went up in the air for the Chiefs and it landed on the Chiefs. And I was like, well, this is over. This is pointless. And even Baker knew that. Same thing with the Eagles. This is 22-point lead. Let's see how close they can get or fuck this up right now. It's going to happen.
If I'm Baker, I would have just taken my
did it in the
pants off.
Kelly Greens. Like, here's my thought. I'm not an offensive – I've never been an offensive coordinator. Never claimed to be. 3rd and 9. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Most people would say that's a pass down. And I thought this was just the old regime. It's not. It seems to be a Jalen Hurts thing. 3rd and 9, I'm going to just start running forward on a quarterback sneak that everybody in the NFL knows is happening. It's not a delayed. It's not a short. He does this and then goes, and he gets hit or slides in first 3 yards. The thing I don't understand is you have a pass-catching back that basically has been a workhorse his entire career. How you're not just putting that thing in that man's chest 2-3 times, get 3 to 4 yards every carry is crazy to me. I just don't understand it. Jalen Hurts acts like he's Lamar Jackson. But he's like great value, Lamar Jackson. He doesn't.
Well, that's a little insulting.
No, that's
just a little.
No, that's 100% fact.
He's more like the Target brand, not great value.
No, great value. This looks the same. It had the same ingredients.
It's like the little fat kid making it 2 pieces of food with like food in it.
Somebody shit in this box, and this is Lamar Jackson. Whoever told him, hey, you're really fast and you're a really good running quarterback, should have punched him in the mouth. No. It's frustrating.
It's also the fact that it's not just A.J. Brown. We have Devonta Smith, too. Like,
that dude saved you to this game.
No, I'm not going to lie. We get bailed out by high-end talent. Like, we have some of the best players in those positions, and they save our ass multiple times.
Well, yeah, 100%. Like, that makes sense.
I would really hate being the Devontae Smith fantasy owner because he is never called upon unless he has to save someone's ass. Every time there's a highlight of him, he is either saving the game, winning the game, or doing something that will save embarrassment from either Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni. That man should be on fucking retainer like a law firm for those two guys.
Yeah.
And yet he can't get consistent production, even though he's probably the most talented wide receiver 2 in the league.
And the funny thing is, like, Saquon, like, we should have talked as 22-7. Saquon does that in crazy hurdle backwards, and that's what we talk. But instead, what do we have to say? Oh, it almost went south.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you play hard teams.
He made one. Devonta made an amazing play. Jahan Dotson made an amazing play.
You guys haven't played Washington, right?
That is next week.
Yeah, there's a shot that Washington just punches you in the mouth, like
Oh, there's a shot.
because you guys just fucked around and made Trevor Lawrence look like can play football.
The thing is, the Commanders are that team in our division that we always play weird against.
No, I know,
Always have.
but the years past was Sam Howell was the quarterback on the other side, or they didn't have a team. Now they have a team, and now they beat you last. They almost beat you twice last year, or they did
Almost beat us twice last year, but we won both games.
Yeah, I think they can. I think they could sweep.
They could.
All right.
Mark, were you gonna? I thought I heard you.
No,
say
Mark.
something.
Mark doesn't get to talk. Mark has. See, I know him. I know when he's ready to speak. Minnesota may be the second most fraudulent 6-2 team.
No
Like,
Flacco
did we-
fever this week.
Huh?
No Flacco fever this week.
No, but did we see that? Did you guys see that interception that he threw? That Sam
No, I
Darnold
missed
threw
that.
in that end zone? It was
missed
so bad. Like, it was like there's no describing that Branch just snuck out of nowhere on this one. It was that's the thing. He can't win a Super Bowl because he's got to make those decisions down the field, and he's going to struggle at those because he doesn't have that ability. He has talent around him, and if he can hit in the area of one of these good receivers, they have a shot. But they almost lost. Like, they were losing this game. That the NFC West is gross and just a joke, and I have no idea where any of these teams will end up. Like, one of them has to win, but I don't know who's going to. Rams look like healthy. I have Puka in another league. He punches the guy, and luckily I still won the league, but I never wanted to break something so bad in my entire life. I'm like, why are we... I had him and A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown loses the knee. He punches, and I still end up pulling.
That's literally my work league. I had those two guys. 7 points combined.
There's no way. Like, NFL players, why are we punching helmets? You flipping idiots.
And there's always a right in the face mask
And
too, where you can break your fingers like real easy.
The refs, can we stop? Like, if he hit him on the side of the head, he's not getting ejected. Don't act like a closed fist is that crucial. Like, he's wearing a helmet. Now he goes through the face mask to punch him, sure, suspended. But a side helmet, ridiculous. Should have been suspended.
Do we know how long he is he gonna get suspended for a couple games?
No,
or?
they'll just pay a fine. He'll be back.
Okay.
They're not going to keep him out. No, they just eject.
You swing on a guy, you get a paycheck hit. You don't get suspended.
If Goodell would have called down and been like, "No, put him back,"
If you
suspend him.
if you smoke weed, they take you out to the woodshed and put 2 in your head.
I think that was the old times. I think you can smoke weed now.
That's also just the state of Florida, apparently.
Sorry.
Sorry,
you
Josh.
gamble
Sorry,
in the
Josh
parking lot
Gordon, yes.
of your in the parking lot of your practice facility, you get shot in the head.
They're going to come show you the rabbits. Come on, George. I'll show you the rabbits and shoot them right in the back of the head. The two of the big games, Lions defeat the Packers 24-14.
That score was not indicative of how that game went.
No.
They fucking smoked them.
Yeah. I don't know. This is 2 games now. Minnesota the first time, Lions. Jordan Love shouldn't have been out there.
No. But it also doesn't help that they were missing their center and they didn't have a real replacement for him. So they fumbled multiple snaps because of that.
But my thing is, there was a play at the end of the half he threw down.
Oh, yeah.
And Jordan Love couldn't run down to the what are we doing? Like, no, you should not be the quarterback on the team. Like, and I don't know the rules. Like, if he could get to the sideline, can Malik Willis run onto the field at the time? Like, that could be an easy
Considering how well the offense worked with Malik Willis under center, I get wanting to be out there. I get wanting to play.
But you're going to be 6-3 if you lose this anyways. There's no need.
If your coaching staff can come up with a game plan that wins games without you, trust them to do the job. And then back in late December, early January, you're in the playoffs. Like, you are, with knee injuries, you're sabotaging the rest of your career by doing this.
They're super lucky that this is their bye week, so they can rest up.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, it just didn't matter. If you lose that game, you're 6-3, but you don't show them your team with Jordan Love. It's a win-win. Now they have a game plan against you.
Because their very next game is against the Bears. So, and those games are always fucking physical as hell. So the last thing you want is a hobbled quarterback with Montez Sweat staring his ass down.
100%.
Also, the Lions, Jesus Christ, Jared Goff going perfect until in the first half until the last 2 minutes.
I mean, they're the best offense in the league. It's not even close.
Not even close.
They're the best team in the league.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Chiefs, but I mean, I think the Lions win.
I mean, just push come to shove. Like, the only reason you go with Chiefs is because of what they've done prior. But
Right.
like this, if they played now, I'm going with the Lions 100%. If this is like playoffs,
I think the Lions win like 7 or 8 games out of those 10.
I think come playoff time, if their health restores, the Chiefs are the scariest team in football. If everybody comes back healthy, they are the scariest team in football. Like Tennessee, like that classic thing of the dog sitting in the car, and another dog is in another car, like perched up, like staring at the dog window, and it's everybody staring at Tennessee for letting Kansas City get
DeAndre Hopkins for a 5th.
Like, you idiot! Like the other dog's just shaking, just freaking out. Like, yeah. What the fuck do you mean you let them have DeAndre? They put the graphic up, like. I don't know I know he's older, but I don't know if the rest of the league just forgot who DeAndre Hopkins really was. But this dude is that dude.
I'm gonna bring him up again, but the fact that Jonathan Mingo went for a higher price than DeAndre Hopkins did.
Can I just I get wanting to overreact, but this is why no one trades for players with more than 1 year left on their deal, because the price tag is always higher, and you're not paying for the player, you're paying for the season and a half of control you have to get production out of him. It's gonna be like I saw the tweet was, they got less for Amari Cooper than they got for Mingo. Cooper was on an expiring deal, couldn't stay healthy, and was getting outworked by Michael Gallup. So I don't know. That's just mini rant's over. But
that's 100. That's
fair.
But also, that's why you never want to trade for a Jahan Dotson, a Jonathan Mingo. You never want to give up that much draft capital for a guy who has a 5% chance of becoming him to be. This isn't a shot in the dark. You're throwing away a mid-round pick that could be used on your next starting running back, or a wide receiver 3 with much better developmental traits, or a linebacker, or a rotational linebacker, or edge rusher. It's nonsense. And I hate when teams just throw those picks away on players who have not produced and will continue to not produce.
I just think it's crazy. Like, I think Kansas City knew exactly what they were going to like, because Kansas City didn't need the world beater, but they got a world beater, right? When he throws that, we'll go to that game now. They end up winning in overtime. Chiefs get this. Can we just call it? Anybody watch the game last night?
Not all of it.
One of the most dramatic things I've ever watched in my life was Patrick Mahomes twisting his ankle or tweaking his ankle, getting carried across the field, like holding, and then all of a sudden we come back from commercial. I'm looking at the back of his leg the entire time to see if it was his non-contact. He's throwing on the dot. He has to stop. I'm thinking it's an Achilles. Like, if it's an Achilles, you're fucked. Like, Chiefs over with. No, congratulations, you'll be 8-8. You'll finish 9-8.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, he ends up walking, so I'm like, oh my god, we're chatting in the thing. I'm like, it's Carson time, baby. Like Wentz is out there just like throwing. I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. And then all of a sudden we come back and the motherfucker's running. He's running on the sidelines like nothing's happened. I was like, the fuck? What?
He pulled this same shit 2 years ago during the
Now he
playoffs,
does
though.
have bad ankles. Like he does have, but he's hurt him in Indy. He hurt it last week. He did tweet. You saw it. I think he was just being cautioned. But like motherfucker, test it before you get two buddies to help you across the field. They end up winning. DeAndre Hopkins has a massive game. Kelsey has a massive game. Hunt has a massive game. And it just put on that paper think about like this team going into the playoffs that has Pacheco, Rice, Hollywood Brown, Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce. Like this offense is disgusting across the board. So like, and they're already built up enough window where they're going to win that division pretty much easily. They're going to get a top seed, have rest. Chiefs are just terrifying to me. They're a terrifying team, and they played bad on Monday against the. No, again, granted, I think the Buccaneers are a better team than. Like, I think Baker is a real difference maker in that team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really curious. Like, what's your guys' overall take? If you didn't watch it, get it. But like, I think when we did this exercise of how many teams can win the Super Bowl, I think the number has now drastically went down a lot.
It's at like.
I think it's at 5. That can honestly win it. I think Buffalo has a chance. I think Baltimore has a chance. I think Chiefs have a chance. And then I think it's the Lions. I think it's the Packers. I don't think any other team in the NFC has a shot right now.
I mean, to win the Super Bowl, I think the only NFC team with logistical chance is the Lions.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the Lions are the only logistical.
No, I
NFC.
agree.
In the AFC, it's Chiefs, Ravens, and maybe the Bills.
That's right. Yeah, those are the teams that said. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think there's anybody else that screams any championship.
Like
Houston was that darling that was there. Now the receiving core has been brutalized.
Well, they do get Nico Collins, hopefully, but the offense just does not look the same as it did last year. Like something's missing.
It's everybody with every second year. You don't see Stroud the first time. You see Stroud now. Yeah. You have tendencies. You're able to pick up on stuff he did against you.
There's just no adjustments being made. Right. That's the problem.
Yep.
That adjustment of Xavier Hutchinson, we saw that worked out, on Thursday. So whatever.
Yeah.
I will say I didn't expect the Buccaneers to go into overtime. I didn't really expect them to quite keep up with the Chiefs the way that they did. That's a credit to Baker Mayfield.
Sure.
But man, that Buccaneers defense has just been so lackluster this year and disappointing.
This year?
In particular.
You see him play last year?
They were better than I expected, but they weren't great. But this
year,
they
finish last year? 9-8?
I believe so.
Yeah, they're a middle of the road team. They can't stop a nosebleed. Like Travis Kelce got 14 catches on you. DeAndre Hopkins almost put 100 yards on your head. There were people wide open in the middle of the field, and Hunt ran for 100 yards and 27 carries. Like, you don't have a defense. You just don't have it. They luckily stayed in that game. If they didn't force that fumble on a rainy night against Kelce, the game doesn't even matter. The game's not even close. Mm-hmm. If Worthy doesn't step out of bounds at the beginning of the game, when they have a wide open walk-in touchdown, Kelce doesn't drop the ball, that they win by double digits. Instead, they do a walk-off because Chiefs mess around. Like what the Chiefs do at times. Like they don't care about the regular season. They're trying shit that they just, will this work? Let's see if we can come back tonight, guys. Let's see if we. And I think
Now, if there's a team that plays with their food,
I think no, true. But if it's a game that you go into, right? It's a game that you think about. Is that team? You're going in. You're seeing the Bucks. They're not going to have Evans. They're not going to have
Godwin or McMillan.
They're not going to have offense. So at this point, we're going to stop the run. Everybody takes the night off. Look what happens. You get punched in the mouth a little bit. You got to play from behind. But is there a human being in the world that thought when they got the ball at overtime that there was need to watch the game anymore?
It was done.
I didn't feel like I needed to watch the game by the middle of the third quarter. Like, the Bucks were ahead for most of it. It's like, it just didn't. Like, I know what's going to happen. Like, the Chiefs are going to come back.
Classic Tom Brady. It's classic Tom Brady.
I put it in our chat. I said they left too much time on the clock.
Well, no, they didn't.
Because Todd Bowles is a bad coach. That's also he's a bad coach.
The time on the clock didn't matter.
No, it's like It was like 37 seconds, and I was like, "Yep, Kansas City's gonna."
Yeah, but it's just
they didn't.
It's just infuriating because Todd Bowles just like holding his chin out for like the fucking Chiefs to sucker punch him. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like,
Why don't you go for two?
I was about to ask.
That too.
I understand you left 30 seconds, which they didn't need to do 30 seconds. If you think about it, they called their own timeout. They could have just ran it up the middle and tried to do it, but you're on the road against the defending Super Bowl champions. Why the fuck not? You're going to lose regardless. Might as well just try it and go for two. Yes, you miss it. You look like an idiot, but at the end of the day, you're still going to look stupid when they walk down the field on you.
You're also down your top three receivers, and your running backs are completely gassed.
But you just worked them the entire way down. They're demoralized. You have to at least take a shot.
And Sterling Shepard's been serviceable as a wide receiver.
Sterling Shepard is like 33 years old.
They were OU teammates.
I guarantee you, he has the gas mileage of a fucking 1980s pickup truck.
All I'm saying is I stand by if you're going to do that shit, you might as well just go for it. There's no tomorrow. It does not matter. You lost anyways. You lost by and you risked more injury on your defense too, because they literally worked you for literally 5 minutes down the field. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of shake and bake. Oh, look, they scored.
Didn't the Chiefs burn like 8.5 minutes on one drive at one point, or was that a different game?
Oh yeah, they'll suck. They literally will suck the wind right out of your defense if you let them have an opportunity. I saw a stat. They're the top team since 2013 in third down percentages. They operated like a 70% clip. What are we doing? That's disgusting. So. First down, second down, third down, convert. First down, second down, third down, convert. And if you've ever played line for that long and they're only doing chunk plays for 10 yards of time, you just are sucking wind by the end of it and you want to die. Just score already. Nope. Here's a 4-yard pass. Here's a 3-yard pass. Here's a first down. And you're just like, hey, number 87, I hear he's good. Anybody want to put hands on him at some point down the line? Oh, what, he's got 14 catches? That's not on your game plan, you flipping idiots? Oh, disgusting. All right. You guys ready to talk about this week?
Yeah.
Whatever. We know how the season guy, whatever.
Yeah, what? We're literally just doing this to do it. The game I will not be watching. Actively will not be watching. The New York Giants facing the Carolina Panthers in what country?
Germany.
Who cares?
This is punishment.
This is what you did. This is why you shouldn't let Hitler in power. This is what you get for it. Bar, what do you got? Give me your analysis.
This game's gonna suck.
That's great analysis.
Do you need more analysis? I don't think you do.
Not really.
So I'm going to take a wild swing on this one. I'm going to say that the Panthers actually win this game, but I'm only going to do it for 1 point because I don't care.
That's not a
This
big swing.
motherfucker says wild swing. That is the most rational pick ever.
Right. Mark, give me some knowledge.
Oh, wait, what game are we talking about?
Giants versus Carolina.
Oh, New Orleans. New York, Carolina. And who gives a shit? I mean, I don't know. I just picked Giants for 5. It seemed good.
Giants for 5. Okay, sure. Scully.
Daniel Jones and Bryce Young will have one incompletion per war crime that Germany has committed throughout their history. That being said, I'm taking the Panthers for 1 and not thinking about it for the rest of the week.
I have the Giants for 1. I think they're at least capable team in the shit sandwich that is.
I'm not busting my week on a fucking sauerkraut fight.
Same. I will not. I said I'm not waking up for this game. Nazario has the Giants for 6. Robert has the Giants for 2. Coho has the Giants for 2. Next game on the slate. Do I want to be mean? Do I want to be mean? Do I want to be mean? Yeah, it's probably the worst game. New England Patriots versus the Chicago Bears. Mark.
I mean, I don't know. Stupid Patriots aren't playing terrible, or maybe they are. I don't know what's happening with the Bears. If Bears lose this game, Eberflus is gone. Like, should he be gone? Like, will he go?
He won't, because we don't fire coaches midseason, Mark.
That sucks. Give me the Bears for 2, I guess. I don't know.
Chicago for 2. Bar.
I think Mark summed it up in 2 words. That sucks. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna like fall into the well of insanity by picking the Bears again, but I'm gonna pick the Bears but I'm gonna do it for 3.
Okay. Can we go back to when I was the only one picking the Bears? Because I feel like we played a lot better when that happened.
Nazario. Chicago for 7.
I hate everything.
Chicago for 6. Coho, New England for 1.
Oh.
No, he did this to me last week, Scully. Don't think you're special.
I have Chicago for 2. I think they should win. But Caleb Williams seems to cry when a defense is in close to him. So
he hasn't cried yet this season. So excuse me.
You see him limp off the field. That was pretty bitch like.
Look, there's no one on the New England defense even worth crying over. So
Scully, what do you got?
Faster than DJ Moore, though.
All right, so Scully has this for 14.
No, I have it for 8.
Oh, Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't. I hope that they don't score a lot on our defense. I don't think they're going to score a lot on our defense. In reality, we should win this game by 30 fucking points. But because our coaching staff is so impotent that they don't know what a post route is, we're probably going to win by like 4.
That's fair. I forgot to do something real quick. Hold on. I have to keep track of eliminators. I don't remember who my eliminator was. I think I picked Cincinnati.
Mine was the Eagles, so I was sweating for a while.
Yes, you did. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who Roberts was, but I know mine was Cincinnati.
Robert picked the Saints.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did. But he's got it live, so he'll be back. And Bar, who'd you pick?
I picked the Bills.
Safe. Okay. Just making sure I keep track of those before we get to the point of the show where I need them. Okay. Let's go to Two bad games, but I'll start with Tennessee going to the Chargers. Coho has the Chargers for 10. Nazario has the Chargers for 12. Me and Robert have the Chargers for 14.
Add me to that list.
Okay. Mark. I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Give me Tennessee.
There's no reason to overthink this. Tennessee's bad. Chargers are good this year. So Chargers for 12.
Scully.
Chargers for 11.
Chargers for 11.
The fact that Robert, Cody, and myself agree on this being the 14 game.
Gonna be an upset.
Yep.
Um,
Bad.
Minnesota going down to Jacksonville. Scully.
I have the Vikings for 14, actually.
The Vikings for 14, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark.
Little nervous. They almost, the Colts stayed in it for a while. I'll still take the Vikings. Do it for 8.
Vikings for 8. All right. Bar.
Originally, oh God, do I stick with this actually? Because I
No.
have the Vikings winning. But it is now, the more and more I think about it, the more and more it's a game where I can totally see this going completely wrong for the Vikings. Especially if Brian Thomas Jr. is back. Do we know if he's like on track?
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
He should be back.
You know what? Fuck it. Give me Jacksonville for 2.
You all right?
Fuck it. Coho played this card last week too, so fuck him.
So we're just being catty bullshit. Okay, interesting. Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to Jerry World with Cooper Rush playing quarterback. Nazario has Minnesota for 11. Robert has Minnesota for 12 and his eliminator pick. I have Minnesota for 13. And surprise, surprise, Coho has Minnesota for 13. Philadelphia versus Dallas. Bar, we're actually going to start with you. Give me your analysis. You're on the ground. You know your team.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know.
So we always split with the Cowboys. The question at the moment is are the Eagles going to win this game or the other game? With Cooper Rush in there, I think we've played Cooper Rush twice and we've won both times. It is still a game that I can see us blowing because of dumb coaching decisions. But I'm still going to pick the Eagles, but I'm only going to pick them for 9 points.
Eagles for 9. Okay. Mark.
I mean, you just said it, Cooper Rush. I think CeeDee Lamb is a toss-up as well. Yeah, I mean, I think I could buy maybe Dallas winning at the end of the season when, like, that can fuck up the Eagles' playoff seeding a little bit. I just don't see how it's happening now. Like, they have no momentum. Like, yeah, give me the Eagles for 14.
Eagles for 14. Love that you're confident. Scully.
I'm saying the Eagles for 10. it's like it is the lowest and should be a blowout game I got this week because Cooper Rush could just have the game of his life and instill some false hope in the Cowboys. Actually, Cody, he's 5-1 against the spread this year. So when you're pouring over DraftKings on Sunday morning, take a look at that.
Listen, don't be jealous because you
Don't
just
say I never
don't.
do anything for you.
Don't be jealous because you can't do what I do.
Bet on kickers.
No one should do what you do.
You want to look at my profits? Do you want to tell me that again? Thank you. And that wasn't a sexual innuendo, just talking about actual money. Okay. Nazario has Eagles for 10. Robert has Eagles for 13. I have Eagles for 11. Coho has Eagles for 12.
Not where I thought that was going, but good. All right.
Shut up. Jets versus the Arizona Cardinals. Coho has Arizona for 4. I have Arizona for 5. Robert has Arizona for 3. Nazario has Jets for 2. Even if I'm wrong, I'm done betting. I'm done looking at this team ever. Like, for win, lose, draw, Jets are dead to me. If they win out, congrats. I'm hoping they do. But no. So, Scully.
I have the Cardinals for 6.
You have who?
The Cardinals for 6. I like the way they've been playing the last few weeks. They've really kind of turned that corner.
You liked how they played last week?
I mean, objectively, they performed very well. Objectively, they are a strong, fundamentally sound football team. And I'll be very interested to see, especially when they play the Rams again, because I think the winner of that game possibly wins the NFC West. So we'll see.
It's fair. Mark.
Yeah. They won last week.
He's going back to the table.
The train's back on the rails.
Both Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson had 90-yard games. Like, it could happen.
Wind it up. Wind it up.
J-E-T-S.
Give me the Jets for 6.
Yeah.
It's like Garrett Cole going back to his fastball against Devers. You just know it's going to get hit out of there.
Shit. Bar.
The Cardinals have a fire in their gut right now. And Kyler Murray is playing. He's playing pretty good football right now.
You're like that guy that shows up at the local cafe and looks at the high school team. Sees the head coach. Got them playing pretty good. Got a good fire in the bellies.
That sophomore you guys have, it's got a pretty good 4-seam fastball. Yeah, give me the Cardinals for 8.
This is all over the place. I love it. San Francisco 49ers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bar.
McCaffrey's not back this week, right? It's next week.
No, he's just practicing. They have it 21 days to activate him.
Got it. I had this for like a little higher. You know what? No, I'm going to stick with it here. I'm going to take the 49ers for 11 points.
49ers for 11?
Yeah.
Okay, Mark.
You know what? Yeah, I was thinking of switching it up, but yeah, there's nothing I want to do that with. I don't know. Like,
The Niners should easily win this game, but they are who they are this year, and Baker, managed to stay in it with Cade Otton and Sterling Shepard. I'll take the Niners for 7. I don't like it, but whatever.
Niners for 7. For 7, you said?
Yep.
Scully.
Yeah, this game's weird because I don't know. I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad a little bit for the Bucks. I should say I feel bad for Baker Mayfield, but also at the same time, he really has nothing to lose because he can just ball out every week, lose. Team gets a better draft pick. Maybe he gets another top tier receiver or another great offensive lineman on that offense, and they could be fine going forward. That said, take the Niners for 5 because the Bucks could just sneak their way back to 500. But the Niners need a win, and against a hobbled Tampa team, this feels like the win.
Nazario has the Niners for 9. Robert has the Niners for 3. Coho has the Niners for 5, and I have Tampa Bay for 4. I think it could go either way. I just think this is a shot that I can take, and I think Tampa played really well against them. I don't love what I've been seeing out of San Francisco. They could definitely lose that one. Next game on the slate, let's go Atlanta versus New Orleans. Scully.
Falcons for 13. I get that, first game, interim head coach, the vibes might be different. But I mean, to be honest, I think every Saints fan out there just wants to tank and start the rebuild that they should have started 5 years ago. So Falcons by probably 20 points this week, but I'm going to take them for 13.
All right, Mark.
I mean, again, I feel like we've seen something like this before, where interim head coach and team gets some new fire. I mean, the Saints have nobody to do it with, so it shouldn't happen. And the Falcons are at least competent. They should go 5-0 in the division after this. So I mean, that division already over anyway. But yeah, division just scares me a little bit. I'll still take the Falcons for 9.
Bar.
I'm still picking the Falcons, but I'm only picking them for 5 because I think that interim bump might be a real factor here because I never got the sense that the team respected Dennis Allen. And it could be like a Josh McDaniel situation where once he got fired, that team played with so much more passion.
Dennis Allen wasn't the issue, though. He was.
I think he was a big issue, though. Because remember the end of last year where Winston was like, "Nah, fuck this. We're giving the ball to Jamal," and they clearly were like, "No, we don't. We're not listening to Dennis Allen's decision here."
That was the deciding factor that Bar's like they're out.
No, that was the moment where I was like, "Oh, you guys don't respect your coach. You have zero respect for your coach."
Yeah,
so
Arthur Smith almost beat his ass on the field.
Exactly. So yeah, Falcons, but only for 5.
Okay. I have Atlanta for 10. I don't think the bump means anything in this scenario because I think the bump cancels out when it's a divisional game. Don't think it matters. Coho for 9 for Atlanta. Robert 11. Rosario 8. It's all Atlanta across the board. Miami going to the Los Angeles Rams. Coho has the Rams for 7. I have the Rams for 6. Robert has the Rams for 5. Nazario has the Dolphins for 3. I think A-Chan is a real difference maker. I think he could literally just destroy this team because they don't do well against the run. But I still think Puka's there. The team is rolling. They're going to win. They have a shot in the division. I think Miami Dolphins teams could be definitely checked out at this point because being 2-6 right now, just that's gotta suck. Like you just know you can't lose another game, but you really just know you can't win all the games remaining. So, bar.
I know the Dolphin fans around here want them to tank. They want a new O line. I'm gonna pick the Rams for 7. I could see this going either way, but I think with Puka and Cup there and Kyron Williams as well, this will be difficult for Miami.
Okay, Miami for how much? What'd you Rams for what?
7.
Rams for 7. Okay, but I'll give you the Miami for just not listening to you, Mark.
Yep. The NFC South fucked around and found out. They let the Rams back in the division. Yeah, they're gonna win this division. I said it on chat. I'm gonna say right here, they're gonna win this division. It's fucking awesome. Like if Puka and Cup are gonna continue to be healthy, they're gonna run this shit. And the Dolphins, like the Dolphins shouldn't even be trying anymore. They should literally be calling everybody like, "Hey, do you want Tyreek? Do you want Waddle?" They should sell whoever they fuck they have. So yeah, like Dolphins aren't going anywhere. The Rams are on the upswing. Give me the Rams for 13.
Scully.
The Rams for only 3. I mean, I think it's gonna be a very high scoring game. Lots and lots of offense. I think that it's one of the toss ups this week. It could go either way. I have a little bit more confidence in the Rams to be more consistent driving down the field. There's always a chance that Dolphins pass rush can get to Stafford.
That's fair. Okay. Denver going to Kansas City. Scully, we're going to start with you.
I'm going to take the Chiefs for 9. Could be close. I think it will be a fairly close game. It's typical Chiefs fashion where they just kind of mess around for 3 quarters and then play the best defense you've ever seen in the 4th. But I think this will be the true litmus test for Denver to see kind of where they stack up this year. Because now they got to think about what do we need to do to make the wild card round? What do we need to do to get that last couple playoff spots? So if they show well here, it's good confidence going to the last month.
And how many you said 9?
9
for the Chiefs. Helps if I put that in the right spot. Okay, Mark.
They gotta lose sometime.
Do it, Mark.
They
Believe
gotta
it, Bo
lose
Nix.
sometime.
Be a believer.
And
Okay.
I like it's a division game. Anything can happen division game. So give me the Broncos for 1 point.
Okay. Bar.
God bless Bo Nix.
You're doing the same?
No, I'm not doing the
No,
same.
pussy.
I just don't think that the Broncos offense is quite good enough to beat that Chiefs defense right now. I think it'll be close actually, but I'm still gonna pick the Chiefs for 10.
Chiefs for 10. Okay.
Buy Bo Nix jersey this weekend.
Hope it's from fucking like wish.com and it comes to fit your thumb. Nazario has Chiefs for 13. Robert has Chiefs for 9. I have Chiefs for 9. Co-host Chiefs for 8. Detroit versus Houston. Sunday Night Football. Coho has Detroit for 11. I have Detroit for 8. Robert has Detroit for 7. Nazario has Detroit for 5. Bar.
I can't believe y'all are so low on this. Give me the Lions for 12, baby. That O line for the Texans is. I don't think they're strong enough to keep CJ protected.
For 12, you said?
12, yeah. Give me the Lions.
I did say Coho at 11.
I know, but some of y'all are like 5 points.
Well, there's some easy, like, no-brainers in this week. This is not, I wouldn't say a no-brainer.
These are called confidence picks.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all are confident in this one, but okay.
We're confident, just not as much as other games.
That's fair.
Okay. Mark.
I wanted to say this last week about the Detroit Lions. They have come into this season with a type of laser focus I think I've only seen one time in sports history, which was in the 2013-2014 San Antonio Spurs when they lost to the Miami Heat in the 2013 finals. There's just something with the Lions right now that frankly should scare everybody. And, they're just going to they're just roll. They are just rolling through everybody, and I think they should roll through the Texans on Sunday. So yeah, give me the Lions for 10 points.
Pretty low, Mark, to be honest with you. Scully.
Well, because apparently I'm not confident in this game. I'm only going to take the Lions for 7.
Weak.
Yeah.
Beta male.
Weak.
Yeah, beta male.
Yeah.
All right. Buffalo versus Indianapolis. Scully.
Bills for 12. Not much to say. Joe Flacco's magic, I feel like, is running out.
Mark.
Good old Buffalo Bills, not think close. Yeah, I mean, I've run out of the Flacco fever, so yeah, we'll take the Bills for 11.
For 11?
Yeah.
Bar.
Buffalo for 13.
So you have Detroit for 12. Can't believe you're so low on this game. You have it for 13 here, and you know 13. You got it. Nazario has Buffalo for 14. Robert has Buffalo for 10. I have Buffalo for 12. Coho has Buffalo for 14. Final 2 games of this week. Cincinnati on Thursday going to Baltimore. Must win for Cincinnati. Coho has Baltimore for 3. I have Baltimore for 7. I think their defense is terrible, and I just don't know how you stop that offense. You need 3 and outs to win. They're not going to get any of them, I don't think at all, unless he makes mistakes, which could happen. Baltimore, Robert, hating Ravens, put him for 4. Nazario, going back to Thursday night tradition after he put max points on Houston last week, Baltimore for 1 point. Bar.
Originally, I had the Bengals winning this because Lamar plays weird against his own division. But that Bengals defense is just so bad. It's so bad. They're not going to stop Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers. So give me the Ravens, but only for 4 points.
Okay. I'm going to ask for that point total again. What did you say?
4.
Sorry, I'm checking if sports betting is legal in Missouri yet. Mark. My drive to Iowa need to stop.
It is not said enough on this program that Mr. Nazario Montenegro is a smart man.
It's never said in normal life.
Don't recall saying that.
And you know what? Now on, I'm not betting more than 4 on Thursday night games because he just kind of knows something. follow suit. Even though I think the Ravens should pulverize the Bengals on Thursday, it shouldn't even be close. I will still only take the Ravens for 4 points because weird ass shit always happens on Thursday.
You said Baltimore for 4?
Yes.
Scully.
Don't like this. I got the Ravens for 4 as well.
You have them for 4 too?
Yes.
Wow, you, Robert, and that's crazy. Okay. And last game of the week, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Washington Commanders. Scully, where you at?
Give me the Commies for 2. Again, real toss up. We'll see what happens, but I think ultimately it comes down to the fact that the Steelers need to lose so they can retain their identity. So, for that reason, I'm picking Command for only 2.
What'd you say?
Commanders for 2.
Sorry. I'm doing things. Mark, where you at?
Yeah, there's none of you guys ever seen The Boy and the Heron when there's a part where that guy's like building.
I love that movie. Love it.
Like the guy's like building the blocks to keep like the universe in order. He has to have them in a particular spot, to keep everything together. I think that's kind of one of those blocks is Mike Tomlin being 500 in the NFL. And like it's very unstable right now. The universe could, just absolutely collapse. So that's went into my thinking a little bit. We'll take the Commanders for 3. Should have just let off with that. I just feel like I just wasted everybody's time.
No, I enjoyed it. I loved living it.
Stronger than the bond between a boy and his heroin.
You're gonna get us canceled for that comment. All right, Bar.
This should be at minimum an interesting game. It could be a very good game. It's gonna be. It's gonna come down to like how that Steelers defense does.
Why did he sound like Trump there for a second?
It's gonna be a lot. Not gonna be a lot. Not really
that
sure.
Steel wall. If that steel wall doesn't come in,
a very interesting game.
The wall of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This could be
so strong.
This quality game, best game you've ever seen in your life. The whole thing's gonna be spectacular.
And the
That's
best part
is
Washington is good.
I want to build the wall out of the Steelers.
Pittsburgh's wall is going to be paid for by Washington. That's how it's going to be. It's a great wall, J.J. Watt.
It's a great wall. China's going to look at it and be like, ooh,
the cutting around the business, sir. What is it? What's your vote? What'd you put?
I haven't even picked yet.
Okay, let's go.
You know it.
With you crazy? I grew up in the middle class. Listen.
Now you're gonna get us canceled.
She could be the next president. Whatever.
I love me some commies. I'm gonna pick them for 6.
Good for business.
Good for business.
I'll take the Steelers because commies are no good. Comrade Kamara and our commie friends will not win the game.
They will not.
The Commanders for 6, please.
Commanders. Got it. Okay.
You sound like Brando over there.
That's fair. I did get a little Brando. Nazario has Washington for 4. Robert has Pittsburgh for 2. I believe in it. Defense, offense, working on both sides. I think it's going to be very similar to when Washington played Chicago. Suffocating defense, but a better defense than Chicago. He's not going to be able to do what he normally does. They're not going to give him enough
without
time.
the Hail Mary, right?
Yeah, without the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
They're not going to wave and say bye-bye. I have Pittsburgh for 3 points, though. I think Pittsburgh wins this game. I just do. I think the 500 thing was the thing of the past. I don't think it matters right now, so that's where I'm going with that. All right, let's get eliminators and we'll get out of here. Bar, who you got?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna do this before, but I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. Give me the Lions.
Don't know why you're so low on this.
Yeah, below on these lines. These lines.
Yes, so low. Great. Nazario, I don't remember. Let me look. Nazario Montenegro.
All that crap he sends you.
He put the Chargers. He has the Chargers. My good Panamanian friend. Love him dearly. Mark, are you in this still?
I think so. I mean, because I know it was the second to last, which would have been the Eagles.
You picked Detroit and Philly, so you are still alive. So who you got?
Okay. So I'm going to stick to the plan to go my second highest, which is the Rams. So give me the Rams.
The Rams. If I can find them. Okay. Scully.
I'm gonna do the Falcons. I'll take the Falcons as my eliminator.
Like it so much. I am going to go with the Chargers. I think that's safe.
So is Tennessee or New Carolina as to whoever they're playing hammer them as the eliminator?
Pretty much good bet. That's the show. Go enjoy your CNN, your MSNBC, your ABC, your whoever you like to watch and find out who's running our country. Take a civics lesson. It really doesn't matter. So have a great one. See you next week. And hopefully our panel returns.